Happy New Year, everybody. I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much, those of you that emailed me private messages to wish me happy birthday on New Year's Eve. I really appreciate that you remembered that was my birthday. Thank you. Today we're going to do a clean and simple card using confetti white paper. And we're going to learn a few little tips and tricks that you might want to change and make your own as well. So I'm starting with confetti white because I like the depth of it. It's a paper that doesn't really have texture, but because of the confetti ingrained in it, that's printed in it, it looks like it has depth. So I really love using this on single layer cards. Single layer cards need good paper, in my opinion. So what I've done is I've cut that paper down to note card size. So these are just small note card thank yous that I was making. So they're approximately 5 1/4 by 6 3/4, and then just scored in half. And that gives us this little note card size, which is the exact same size as our Stampin' Up! Note cards and note card size envelopes, which makes them really easy to package up. Now, I'm also going to use an embossing folder. This time I'm using the Tulip Flow folder. Now, a lot of you might say, well, how are you going to use the Tulip folder because it is larger than the card front that you have? Well, try this out on your own, guys. Put the embossing folder in first so that it covers one side. And when you do that, you'll see that the other side is not covered. It's not in there. The paper's not up to it. That's okay. Go ahead and run it through your Big Shot going towards that empty side and just run it all the way through. When you take it out, you'll have 3 edges, right? Just leave me a message if you want me to do this on a YouTube, I will. Put the embossing paper back into the embossing folder and bring it over so that the side that's empty is now there. And if you touch it gently and just move it across, you'll see that it'll lock into place as it aligns with the other pieces of the folder. Now, put it into the folder and run it through again, but only halfway. Run it through so that you get the side that you're missing. And then you'll end up with that Tulip folder on a smaller note card. Okay? And just to show you on the folder real quick here, when I put this in, if I put it on the track where it was before, it catches. Like it catches where it was embossed, and you can feel it lock right into place, and you can emboss again. So in essence, when you master that practice, you could emboss the edges of your 12 by 12 pages. You can do all kinds of neat embossing. But this is going to be the base of my card today. I like the way that frame looks. Then I'm going to use the Hostess set that I got for free called Faith in Nature. Great set, and I think it's a great product to get. And I've mounted them on an E-block. So a lot of times you'll forget when it comes to clear mount stamps, you can mount these stamps. Just going to clean this up a little bit. You can mount more than one stamp on a block, and this way it saves you time. So since I wanted the pear and the thank you to be right under it, why not mount them both on the same clear mount block and stamp them at the same time? So that's what I'm doing here. To line them up, you can use your mat, lay the stamps down, and then just push them down on top. I'm going to use StazOn ink because I am going to do a little bit of coloring. So because the block is bigger than the ink pad, I usually bring the ink pad to the stamp. And now I'm going to stamp this right in the center of the note card, or kind of sort of in the center. Give it a good press in the center of the pear, and then pick it up. Beautiful impression I got. I'm going to use a blender pen and a couple of markers. So I've selected 2 shades of green and 2 shades of yellow orange, but you can use whatever you like. And I'm going to use the clear mount block again. This is such a useful tool. Down some color. And I'm going to start by putting the Tangerine Tangle down onto the stamp into the darkest areas, because this is the darkest color I'm going to use. So I let the stamp designer, the person who made this stamp set, kind of help me know where the darkest color goes. I put it wherever they have shadows. Okay, and then I am just scribbling. I'm not trying to be precise or perfect or anything. Now I'm going to add some more mustard. I just turned my block so I could get to a clean area. And I'm going to take that more mustard and lay it down next to that kind of an orange color. And then clean that off. And you can put more, you know, how much color you lay on here and where and how is totally up to your own personal taste. I want this pear to look a little bit like it was changing colors. You know how pears change colors? So I'm going to lay some green down. And this shade of green is called Lucky Limeade, so it's our in color. And I'm just going to finish the pear off with that in color green, allowing myself to run a little bit over some areas of the orange and the yellow. Okay, these are all the products you can use to add shine. So I'm just going to go ahead and add shine with that. I'm just laying down a thin layer of that, what I consider, I guess, lacquer. I forgot to do my leaf. So I'll use I like to use 2 shades of green for my leaf. And then maybe just get that stem. And then what you want to do with this is you want to let it dry completely before you mess with it again. Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to do one more thing, and that is I take a little bit of Dazzling Diamonds and sprinkle it on one corner of the pear. Just one corner, and then tap it off. By the way, tapping like this on the back of your card flattens out the lacquer. So if you had any bumps or mountains, the tapping on the back will flatten it out. And you just want to let this dry, and that is your card. Alright, to show you a couple more examples of the same kind of card, here's one that I did using a different embossing folder that had a little bit more flourish to it. Here's one I did on just layers of paper. Here's one I did that was square. Oops. This one is square with a thank you on the top left. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. Always remember, use another one of the stamps in the set or the same stamp to stamp your envelopes as well, so that you have a matching set. Thank you and happy holidays!